I think I have a few videos of me waking up. I did a small meditation. I didn't do a big one, but I did a small meditation. And I was like, I've been wanting to talk to these people for a couple of days. Make sure ain't no boobies out. Um, I feel better. I feel a lot better. It's funny. My cycle has started, but it was a little rough. Emotionally, what came up was I've been working on not filling my voids. I became aware that sometimes the loss of a parent at a young age or even at an old age, it doesn't really matter. Loss creates an awareness of what you don't have. And then when you feel like you don't have something, you want to have something. So that's like, to me, a very crude way of putting like, you want to fill your voids. And I'm, I got the, I received, I think my cameras, okay, just make sure my camera's good. And I received the message from, Spirit, however you want to put that, that to not fill my voids. Don't fill them. Do not fill your voids. Not with some, not with no weed, not with no cigarette, not with, and what came up right before my period started was not to fill it with sex. Um, and my meditation was showing me the connection of like our parents and our sexuality. And a lot of people don't look at things that deeply. I can't help it. I really don't be wanting to be so deep all the time, but it's just how my brain processes information, and it supports my emotions. It supports who I am emotionally. So I like that part about myself. A lot of people that I may talk to short term or whatever, they don't. A lot of people don't have expressed to me they don't like how deep I want to get into conversation or how deep I want to express myself or how deep I see things, and that don't have nothing to do with me. That's not my business. That's not for me to, that I don't get deep about because it's like your perception of me, your opinion of me, no matter who it is, it's like if it's not helpful to humanity, meaning it makes me a better person so that when I go out in the world around other people, I'm good for other people. I'm a benefit versus someone who's going out into the world and causing, which also has a benefit. It does have a benefit. Everyone's beneficial. It's just you get to choose what kind of benefit you want to be. And for me, a positive, motivating force within this life. Yep, that's me. So I enjoy being positive. I enjoy being upbeat. I enjoy being light. And so the last few things I've been dealing with that caught me off guard, mind you, the situation with my mother literally caught me off guard. I thought we were in a really good place. I thought we were doing really well. And what happened literally, it felt like a rug was being pulled from under my feet because I thought we were in a good place. And some of the things she shared, which I won't say here, was new information for me. And it was a lot to process. And in the end, I realized, just like I said before, some of this stuff don't have nothing to do with me. And just like my family's been asking me to do, let it go, just let it go. For the first time, with everyone telling me to let it go, or people, not everyone, certain people wanted me to let things go, using that phrase, just let it go, let it go. When my mother gave me this new information, it had the opposite effect that when she would kind of like emotionally pull the rug from under me before, I would be an emotional wreck. I would be so like angry and mad. I did go through rage. I had rage. I'm I didn't really have sadness as much as I had rage. I was very upset that what I really wanted I felt was again being denied of me, which is my mom, a great healthy relationship with my mother. So, and that has to be two ways. Not me just being good to her and forgiving her and understanding her, but like having that for me from her as well. And in her mind, we got that. So I ain't gonna take that away from her, but I have to set boundaries for myself and realize, well, I don't have that awareness with you. I don't have that with you. So I had to put new boundaries in place because the behavior is now affecting my children. Like my daughter spoke up during a family meeting and said some things that I was a little bit, I won't say unaware, but I didn't know it affected her so deeply. I know how it affected me at the time, but I wasn't aware that it had affected her in such a way. And I won't go deeper into that either, because see, and that's the difference with me that I wish sometimes that my family and my mom could see. Like, I'm not talking about this because I don't want to in detail. I want to in great detail, but there's a respect value that I have for other people's story, and that was brought to my attention with me, talking on social media about things that are happening to me, but it may relate or include other people, other family members, and it was brought to my attention. They don't like that. And it's easy for me to say, well, I don't care if you don't like it because, that's what I'm going to do. I do feel that way. But while I feel that way, I still am cognizant and aware that if I want good and healthy relationships with my family, what they want and what they need and who they are, all that stuff matters. So, yes, I'm going to figure out how to talk about what I talk about, because a lot of people have expressed to me that it helps them figure things out because they be going through the same stuff, and sometimes they don't know that there's a certain type of therapy they could do. They don't know that, like, I didn't know that this was even, I knew I was being victimized and I knew this was abusive, especially with the stance that she takes. Like, she ain't doing nothing. Like, I'm telling you this hurts, but you're like, I ain't trying to do that to you and I don't want to do it, but I do it. That's who I am and I can't change it. I'm not, but I'm your child and this hurts. So for me, it's more like this is a part of my mental health. When I speak about it, it helps me to process. Right now, I don't have a therapist in place. I literally, not say I didn't think I needed one. I was like, I'll get one for my general, maybe a monthly session, just a monthly check-in session. It helps me. But I've been doing really good, and I've been keeping up with myself in such a way where I feel good about how I'm being. I'm not having any intrusive thoughts. I'm not having any type of suicidal idolations. I do not feel like stressed out or anything like that in that kind of way, generally speaking. This little thing with me getting sick, even that, I was like, I'm getting back. It was a nice forced detox by my body and energetic system. And it helped bring a lot of things into focus and awareness that I need to, work on, as far, not even work on, things I need to maintain as I'm turning 40, and how the body changes and how the mind changes and the psyche adjusts and all these things, and how to, like, better take care of myself. So with this thing coming up with the mommy stuff, the mommy trauma stuff, it's like I thought we were in a better place. So it literally kind of pulled the rug from under me, but it's helping me to detail my healing, because I got after setting a new boundary in place, which means I'm not. She doesn't have access to me right now on social media or my phone. She has my email. Like I told her, I'm not cutting off any of my family or my siblings. So I have, so if she absolutely needs access to me, she can get it. My kids have not cut her off, and I have not cut her off. I'm not emotionally cut. I'm not cut off, even emotionally to speak. I'm not cut off. I'm willing to sit with the love that I have for my family, and know that I have love for my family, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of brothers and sisters. I have a lot of cousins, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, grandparents. Like, I'm good. I'm good with the family support. I'm better than I have been in a very long time. So I'm not giving that up for anyone, including my mother. I'm not giving that up for no trauma. I'm not giving that up for nothing, because I feel like that was something that was taken away from me outside of my choice. And if I had the choice, I'd choose my family. I keep my family. So that's what I'm going to do. As far as the mother thing, I can't keep somebody who don't want to be kept, as they say. you know, I can't work on things alone. I feel strongly and I sense strongly that it's not for me to enable any type of behavior in any direction other than my own. Enable me being healthy, enable my children. Now I have to focus on my children. I cannot focus on enabling my mother to be a healthy part of my life. That's something that has to come internally from her. And that's something she has to care about. And if she doesn't care about it and she feels like things are good, she's allowed to have that thought. She's allowed to feel that way. And it's not for me to come in and try to change it. It is what it is. I dealt with a little bit of the rage when I first made the decision. I was very tired and very heavy for the last few days. That's how I knew my cycle was coming for that week or whatever, but I also um knew that this emotion, like it's talking, it's communicating with me. And I took that time to relax and have these conversations, because what I learned was once I put that video up, YouTube with the algorithm started with the recommended videos. And as much as I've been into health, to therapy and meditation, um, healing myself from some of these traumas, it's kind of like after healing myself from a lot of these traumas, it's like the work still continues in different ways of healing myself and being accountable. And what I've endured and what I've gone through is what they call the invisible abuse, emotional neglect. Because on the outside, everyone sees your parents taking care of you, meaning you have somewhere to live, you have good food. I'm in a West Indian family, so it's already strict a certain kind of way. Um, but for everyone looking, including family members, the outside looking in, you're good. Your parent is not taking care of you. You're being materialistically and physically taken care of in a way that other people, if you say that you're sad, they're, especially as a child, when you tell someone else, especially if they're from the same emotional upbringing as your parents or whoever's, your caretaker is at the time, while you're going through emotional neglect, when you talk about it, people bring up things like, well, you got clothes on, you got food, y'all went to the park the other day, y'all doing stuff. I seen you went to your grandma's house. It doesn't logically seem like what the person is saying is happening. Is happening. They're being abused, or they're being mistreated, or they don't feel good about how they're being handled. The someone on the outside looking in would be like, oh no, you're a child, and it looks like your parents taking good care of you. You have the newest sneakers on. You eat well. You're in a good school. You play. I see you outside playing with your brothers and sisters. Like, it doesn't add up. But what I'm learning is that that's why they call it the silent or the invisible abuse, because other people on the outside looking in can't see it. They don't hear those conversations um, that your parents are saying to you. Like, for instance, I'll say a few things that was said to me. Oh, you telling me that you're gay or you're into girls is worse than your brother dying. Um, just those types of things, like things that are fucked up, excuse my French, but things that tear you down. If you're asking that parent to support, like for me, I'd ask my mom to support me in certain things, and she just wouldn't. I don't have time for that. Me being young, I was a thumb sucker, and I'm like playing with her ear, trying to get close to her. She's like, get away from me. Like I wasn't raised on a lot of like positive touch, any really. I wasn't raised on positive affirmations. I wasn't raised to know what I'm good at, just only what I'm bad at. Things like that. And I don't like to talk about it because in my mind, I don't want to be a victim. I worked so hard to not be a victim. And then just to learn that, as I've been doing some research since I shared this stuff, I've been doing more research. Information's coming to me. I'm bringing up some of my old therapy notebooks, seeing what tools I have in there. And what comes up is that I have been victimized. And I don't, I'm smiling while I'm saying it because there's a certain release there that then it lets me know how to take care of myself better. But I don't want to be a victim. That sounds like I'm weak. That sounds like I'm damaged goods. That sounds like I have a lot of things wrong with me. And I'm learning how to have compassion for myself, that it doesn't mean any of that. Doesn't mean I'm weak. It doesn't mean I'm damaged goods. It doesn't mean that I'm unlovable. And I have to deal with it because I haven't been like crying about a lot of this stuff. But when I get to the victim part, I do start crying. I do get very upset. And it lets me know that I have more healing to do in that area of healing myself. Like, I know I know what I went through to heal domestic violence in the household, domestic, battered wife syndrome. I went through all of that. Battered woman syndrome. But this victim thing, just dealing with it from the primary abuser thing, I guess I have not dealt with that. And when you tell people your mom was your primary abuser, but she's not been like what people typically think about abuse. Again, it's called the silent um, abuse. It's because it's something that when I finally did get to therapy and they diagnosed me, I wasn't diagnosed with like depression or anything. I was diagnosed with something called, it's either dysthymia or dysthemia, something like that. It literally means being sad, like clinically sad for a long time. And the fact that I was so young going through this, and by the time I was diagnosed, I was in my 20s, late 20s. It's like being sad for like 20 years, like being in grief for 20 years. It's different. So I felt proud of myself that I didn't have full blown depression because I'm like, yeah. But that perceived strength that I like to see myself in as a strong, capable person, that ego may be keeping me from having the deep healing that I want to have with myself because I don't want to walk around. I want to deal with the victimization from within. I want to deal with it directly because there are things that I realize that I do that are symptoms that are not healthy. I procrastinate. I have so much content. I have so many books that I've written. Literally, I have like literally written. I have books that I have written. I have business stuff going on. I took the winter off so I can properly. It's funny. I took the winter off so I could just take a break with my business, right? So I could really, because there was some things I wanted to implement in the business, and I needed to take a step back to really get it right. My gold energy management. If you follow me on Instagram, Oil Gold Energy Management, and you know what I'm talking about. Um, but I didn't know this was going to happen. So I'm healing so that I can continue to teach and do the work that I do with others. But this awareness is making it a little deeper because I'm realizing how many of us have these, the procrastination, the fear of rejection. Like I called someone last night because I didn't want to be alone. I was feeling some kind of way, and I was like, I want company, not like sexual company. I just want company. I wish someone was here, and my support system really, everyone was kind of busy. Everyone had plans, so I had to not fill the void. But I remember the first couple of people I asked, and it was like, "Oh, I got something going on tonight. I can't make it through." I had tears. I was so upset. I was so upset. I was so upset. The rejection, learning how to deal with rejection. I realized that's why I have so many books and none of them edited or published. Rejection. I don't want to be rejected. So I have to deal with rejection in a healthy way. I'm ready. I'm so ready to heal these things. I have so much to share and so much to give that I want to give. So much work in me to do, so much fun things I want to experience, burlesquing, my hobbies, taking, like I have a lot of gifts and skills and things I want to share. This journey into full-time RV. I have a travel trailer. I'm getting the truck together to pull it. That's been a whole journey. Continue to raise these daughters. This year they're gonna be 22 and 15. Oh my goodness, I'm proud of them. I'm so super proud of my babies. Like, that's tears. That's a different. That's tears of pride and just joy. Like, oh, I love those girls. Um, so I've been wanting to do a journal entry, but I wanted to have my thoughts together because there's so much going on in real time and so much awarenesses. I may be back later today because I want to talk some more. I'm gonna get up and brush my teeth though first. Maybe we'll do some cooking again. I don't know. I love myself. I love my family. I love my friends. I love life. I love love. I love all of it. The good, bad, ugly, indifferent. It all makes for some good ass vibrations for healing and what's possible. A lot going on in the world, and I just want to be a positive, beneficial part of that. And to me, positive don't mean good or bad. It just means what's beneficial. And on that note, let me get up and brush my teeth. I'll talk to you guys later.